What's up guys, in this video I will guide you through the best picture settings for your Hisense TV. So if you newly bought a Hisense TV like the Hisense Vidaa Smart TV I have over here, or the Hisense Google TV or Android TV, and you want to be able to get the best cinematic experience on your Hisense TV with the most accurate colors, regardless of the type of Hisense TV you have, this video will guide you through the best picture settings you can get on any Hisense TV. Okay, so first things first, before we proceed to make all of the changes from the picture settings of our Hisense TV over here, you want to go ahead and try playing any video on YouTube or just any content you can watch while making these changes, so that you can properly see the changes as soon as we are making those changes on the TV. In my case over here, I currently have a picture connected from one of the HDMI sources on my TV. So first things first, you want to go ahead and press on the settings button on your Hisense TV remote control. If your remote control does not have the settings button, you can just press on the menu button, and then you just want to navigate to the all settings from over here. Select that, and then you want to come over to picture. Now under the picture mode, the best settings when watching cinematic content like your movies and videos is actually between the cinema day and cinema night option over here. Just choose whichever option that sits best with you between the two options. Now coming down, we have the picture mode settings, and from over here you want to make sure that the apply all settings we have over here is actually set to all sources, so that all of the changes we are making on our Hisense TV now will be applied to all of the input sources on the TV. We will now come down to the backlight, and basically this is actually your panel brightness, so you just want to adjust it according to your environment and just choose whichever option that works best for you depending on your environment. Now if you come over to brightness, this is actually also the same as the backlight, and you want to make sure it is set somewhere around the middle, because increasing it will actually make the picture on your TV faded, which will also reduce the picture quality, and the image will start to lose some details. So you want to make sure it is set around the middle, which is actually 50 over here. Now out of this, we also have the contrast option over here, and the sweet spot for contrast is somewhere around 80. So you want to leave it at around 80, or just 70 to 80, but you don't want to reduce it too much so that you don't lose certain details on the image or video you're watching on your Hisense TV. Now for color saturation over here, you want to always make sure it is set around the middle as well. Except if you want some vivid colors, then you can as well just increase it a little bit. Aside from that, you want to make sure it is just set around the middle. Finally, if you come over to sharpness, you want to make sure you reduce this all the way down, and that is actually where you get the best picture quality on your Hisense TV. Now finally, you want to go over to the advanced settings, and for brightness you want to make sure you turn off dynamic backlight control. And what this does basically is that it automatically and dynamically changes the backlight level of your Hisense TV, and that is not what you want, because if it does it automatically, then it might as well affect the other changes we have made on the TV. So you want to make sure that this is actually turned off, and also you turn off the adaptive contrast, and then the auto HDMI range is actually set to auto. You do have two options under this. You have the limit and the full. You can go ahead and try both options and see if it actually makes changes to the picture, but if you're confused, then just make sure it is set to auto and you're good to go. Now for the gamma adjustment, you want to make sure you select the 2.0 or 2.2 if you want brighter pictures, or if you want darker pictures, then you can just go ahead and select the 2.4 or the 2.6 option we have over here. Now if you come out of this, we have the color option over here. For color temperature, you want to make sure that this is actually set to warm 1, and then also make sure that the low blue light option is turned off. This is actually an eye care option if you're reading content on your TV and you don't want it to affect your eyes. Now we can come over to clarity, and under clarity you want to make sure that noise reduction is set to off, and also the digital noise reduction is also set to off, except if you're watching grainy content like older videos and movies and you want to sharpen it up, or you want the TV to make it a little bit better so you can actually watch those kinds of content on your Hisense TV, then you just want to make sure you set it to low or medium depending on your need. Aside from that, you want to make sure that the noise reduction is actually turned off. Some other changes you might want to make on your Hisense TV when you connect a HDMI device to the TV is actually setting the HDMI to enhanced mode. So if you actually press on the menu on your Hisense TV remote control, and just go back to the menu, here we have the HDMI device, and you want to set a format for the HDMI device connected to your TV. You want to make sure that this is actually set to enhanced mode and not standard. And again, except if you're playing games on your Hisense TV, you want to make sure that game mode is actually turned off. This actually optimizes the overall picture settings of your Hisense TV for gaming, and that is not what you would always want, especially if you're watching just cinematic content on your TV. And that is basically all you have to do to get the best picture settings on your Hisense TV. You can go ahead and start watching content on your Hisense TV and then just compare the picture quality from now and what it used to be. If you find this video useful, please make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel.